Alright, what's up folks? Chris Kennedy here with Mayfair Real Estate and Mayfair Property Management here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And this is the second video in a two-part series that I'm doing on things that you can do to increase the revenue at your multifamily apartment building. And remember, just to summarize, there are three ways that you can do that. Number one, you can increase your rents. Number two, you can increase retention or reduce turnover. In other words, make sure as many residents as possible renew their leases. And number three, you can reduce the days on market for vacant units. In other words, improve your leasing process or increase your leasing efficiency, right? So those are three things that will actually increase your revenues. So what are the things specifically that you can do to make those things happen? And in this video, we're going to talk about in-unit specific upgrades or improvements you can make. So in the last video, we talked about things you can do to the exterior of the property. In this video, it's specific to individual units. So let's jump right into it. First and foremost, real easy, go ahead and upgrade your appliances to stainless steel appliances. Now you might say, hey, hang on Chris, I've got white appliances that are perfectly functional, they work, I don't need to change them out. And maybe you don't have to, but I will tell you, if you go ahead and upgrade to stainless steel appliances, you will turn your units faster, people will rent them quicker, and you'll get a little bit more rent. I didn't believe this myself until I just saw it time after time after time in our own leasing activity. People just want stainless steel, whether it's a budget apartment, lower income, working class neighborhood, people still want those nicer appliances. And nowadays, the difference in cost between a budget stainless steel range and a white range, it might be $50. So don't cheap out on the white appliances, go ahead and upgrade to stainless steel and you will get more rent and quicker turnaround of your units when you're trying to lease them. Okay, the second thing you can do, a little more costly, but definitely almost always worth the investment, unless you've got a nice kitchen already, is to obviously upgrade the kitchen. So this can be from as simple as spending, a couple $1,000s on just replacing the cabinets, leaving the layout the way it is. But if you're gonna do this, take the time to look at the kitchen layout and figure out, are there ways to make the kitchen more appealing where it will just, people will pay more rent for it. So what are some things there that might improve your kitchens? Simple thing, if you can figure out a way to put in a breakfast bar, especially if you've got one bedroom or efficiency units and you can put a breakfast bar in there, that will save potential residents space, because now when they come to tour those apartments, they're going to be looking around and be like, okay, there's a breakfast bar there, I don't need a dining table, so therefore I have more space for other things, right? So you're solving a problem for them and you'll rent the unit faster, and people just like to have a nice breakfast bar in their kitchen, maybe put a couple of pendant lights, and all of a sudden you're getting a little bit more rent as well. What else can you do in the kitchen to improve the layout? Well, along the same lines would be, if the kitchen is enclosed or kind of separate, figure out a way that you can open it up to the main living space. Nowadays, people like having kitchens where they can also be talking to their friends who are over hanging out. So getting an open kitchen concept is a great way to up the value, perceived value of that apartment and increase your rents. Now, depending on your plumbing, electrical, all that could be quite expensive. So you obviously don't want to invest more money than you need to. You want to do your numbers, make sure the investment you're making is going to pay for itself in a relatively short amount of time, but just giving some ideas for you on the kitchens. Okay, the third item that I put on this list is regarding bedroom count. Now, you might say, how can I adjust the bedroom count? And we've done this a number of times, and typically in single family rentals, but also occasionally on larger apartments. So what happens is, obviously people will pay more rent for an apartment that has more bedrooms. So what is a bedroom? A bedroom is simply a room with a closet and a window. Okay, now where is the quick value add that you can get? If you have in your house or apartment a room that has a window but has no closet, you can go ahead, put a closet in there, and now it qualifies as a bedroom. Okay, this works amazingly well with Section 8 type properties. So not to get into too much detail here and go off on a tangent, but Section 8 vouchers pay based on the number of bedrooms in a home. So if you're in a Section 8 area, you're open to receiving Section 8 applications, then You can upgrade from maybe a 2-bedroom with a den to a 3-bedroom home, and now all of a sudden you can qualify that property for a 3-bedroom Section 8 voucher, and this can increase your rent by hundreds of dollars per month. So well worth the effort to do it. It's usually very inexpensive, so just something to be on the lookout for. All right, item number 4 is if you can figure out a way to create an enclosed patio for that apartment, specifically for any individual apartment, then that is a great value add. People love having a private outdoor area, especially here in South Florida. They love to have that private outdoor area where at the end of the day they can unwind, have a glass of wine, all to themselves, private. So what we found on a lot of the smaller apartment buildings that we manage and own here in Fort Lauderdale, in some of the nice neighborhoods, you'll find these old apartment buildings, maybe built in the 60s or 70s. They will have a front door and then a back door, and the back door will go out to, maybe a little area that goes between the building and the property line. And there may be a fence already at the property line, but then if you go out and you look to the right or the left, you'll see the back doors of the other units. The very simple upgrade here is just to put a couple of dividers between the units, a 6-foot wood fence on one side and the other side, and now all of a sudden that resident can walk out the back door and they have a private patio area where they can set up a table, a couple of chairs, an umbrella, and just have a nice chill hangout area. People love that. They stay longer in apartments when they have that outdoor space. They definitely use it, and they'll also pay more rent, and they will lease faster. So it's a really good upgrade if the layout of the property is set up for it. Definitely worth the expense. Okay, last but not least, probably my favorite unit upgrade, if you can pull it off, is to find a way to put in-unit washer and dryer if that is not already included in your apartments. Now, most of the stuff that we manage, just because the location we're in here in South Florida, again, most of the stuff is older, smaller multifamily apartment buildings, anywhere from 4 units up to 30 units. A lot of these buildings, when they were originally built, were not set up for in-unit washer and dryer, but they may have common laundry. Especially in some of the smaller properties like 4 units, 5 units, 8 units, if you can figure out a way to either get rid of that common laundry or keep the common laundry for a couple of the tenants and then give the rest of the residents in-unit washers and dryers, you're going to drastically increase your rent compared to what it is without those washer and dryers, and you're also going to keep people there longer. People do not like having to go off-site to do their laundry. They don't like having to go use a shared laundry on-site as much as having a washer and dryer inside their apartment. They don't need to worry about leaving their clothes there too long and someone else taking the clothes out, all that good stuff. It's just much more convenient. So how can you do that? Well, just depends on your individual property, on the layout of the apartments. If you have the closet space or some sort of space that you can take to put in that washer and dryer. And obviously, ideally, you want a side-by-side, full-size washer and dryer, or full-sized stackable system, but you can get smaller stackable units, which oftentimes you can fit into a closet. And if you set it up right, if that closet is located near a kitchen or a bathroom, you've got access to plumbing and sewer, and you can usually figure out a way to install a washer dryer system. Obviously, you'll need a general contractor involved in that, or a plumber, someone who understands how to do that, but it is without a doubt one of the most cost-effective ways to invest in your property and increase rent, increase retention, and obviously increase your speed of leasing. People walk into an apartment, oh my goodness, everyone else in the neighborhood is offering this sort of apartment, but none of them have the washer dryer. They're going to rent yours first, right? So there you have it. Some of the things you can do to upgrade interiors of your apartments and drive up the revenue at your property. Hope this was helpful for you. If it was, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're finding the rest of these videos good, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. I really appreciate you taking the time to check it out, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.